What is up, everyone? We are back with episode nine. Nine. I've done this for 9 days and I feel great. This is such an amazing journey to watch over again, to listen to over again. Maybe we'll get Power Word Fail, the animated series, someday. But anyway, episode starts. Evangeline comes back with Christopher. She immediately confirms what I was thinking. Zales is a vampire. Evangeline thinks he has connected with Christopher in a way because he feels a little off or something. Ambrose immediately pulls out a book of undead creatures. Uh, Maybe it's his ranger feet. Some rangers have feet like they have information on certain creatures. But whatever. They are sitting at this scene of the crime where they killed all these people, and Christopher sees all this, and everybody starts talking about the blood and all that, and Christopher is like, blah. I'm gonna throw up. He is very much has a weak stomach. You find out here that Christopher is about 18 years old. Um, But something strange happens, and Christopher starts getting hostile out of nowhere. Just kind of like he starts arguing with everyone, and he starts like just trying to pick a fight, or not even trying to pick a fight. He was just really angry and like kind of just really hostile with everybody. That led to Mirage end up shoving him, and Ferric instantly pulled a rapier and pointed it at Mirage. Ambrose readied his crossbow. Evangeline grabbed her pendant. I guess that's her focus. And all hell was about to break loose. They Everybody eventually calms down. Everything was moving too fast. The tensions were high. So somebody calmed everybody down. Christopher got upset. He started walking into the forest because they were just like, "You don't have to stay here." He was like, "Fine, I'll leave." And then he started leaving. Evangeline chases after him, and she like gives him like 2 gold and was like, be safe. We really care about you. Blah blah blah. And Christopher's like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go to town. Christopher goes into town. Ferric starts looting. He looting the body of Salvador, and he finds a book, which turns out to be his journal. So he starts going through his journal. Um, you find out that Pickles has about 5 pounds of crystal person meth on them. And she pockets the drugs. She hides it. She's like, "This is my drugs. I'm gonna keep it." They level up to 5 after that fight. One thing that I do wonder is, did Evangeline level up? Because she wasn't in that fight. So they must be doing milestone level ups, because she went off to the city and everybody else stayed behind. Uh, when Christopher starts walking towards the town, Ambrose follows him just to make sure that he gets into the town okay. But I don't really know why that was like a big deal. But Ambrose just was like, "I just want to make sure that you get into town." But Christopher was just like, "Fuck off." Um, so he finally goes into town, and Ambrose kind of leaves him alone. They talk about whether they want to help Christopher, because Evangeline thinks Zales put some kind of spell on Christopher, and Ferric was like, "Oh, that's pretty possible," because he was all gung ho about like, "Let's save things. I want to be a hero. I want to help you guys as much as possible." Mister Spunk this, Mister Spunk that, and all of a sudden he hits a 180. He's just like, "Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I'm not interested in anything you're selling." So they excuse me. They talk about whether they want to save the city or help Christopher or both. And Pickles was just like, why don't we just leave? We got the horses. We did what we came here to do. We could just leave. And as a DM, when you work on something, like especially something as big as a whole city and a whole like adventure, there's nothing more gut punching, gut wrenching than when your players are like, why don't we just go around this? You're just like, oh my god, hours that I just put into this world, this reason for you guys being here, and you're talking about skipping it. It kills me every time. I'm just like, why? Why are you guys like this? Not talking about them, just players in general. It's messed up sometimes. But they end up making camp for the night, staying there. Ferret casts speak with the dead to talk to Salvador. Oh man, I'm a little sleepy tonight. The questions he asks Salvador is, where is the secret entrance? Where were What are the names of your family? What would you like them to be told? What would you like done with your body? And I missed the fifth question, but those were the important ones. Evangeline and Mirage talk about Christopher. They Evangeline was just kind of like, "What's up with that? Like, why did you respond so harshly to him? Like, what did he do to you?" And Evangel uh Mirage just kind of just went over like, "Yeah, just I don't like how he just disrespected us." And like Evangeline was like, "He's just a boy." And then Mirage kind of wanted to be like, "So am I?" But apparently everybody thinks Mirage is a grown man, but I guess he's just a boy. I don't know. I don't know the age of Mirage, the magnificent wizard extraordinaire. Um, but they talk, and she's just kind of like, that wasn't like the right thing to do. Everybody has high tensions. Everybody deserves a second chance, and she was just like, you should apologize to him, and I would do the same for you. I would go this hard for you to be saved or whatever if you were in Christopher's position. So he thinks it over. Um Yep, you find out Evangeline cares for her friends by a lot. Ambrose isn't a ranger anymore. He, I guess, switched to an artificer, which I'm okay with. Artificers are pretty cool, and rangers are pretty cool. So you mix the two together, and you got a pretty cool combination. Uh, Pickles talks about Mirage. Yes, Pickles talks about Mirage liking Evangeline. Like what? That came out of nowhere. Like why does Mirage like Evangeline all of a sudden? Like what's going on there? Why is that a thing? Because he does go off and talk to her. Like well, when he went to talk to her originally, um, it just kind of was like awkward. So you kind of get that vibe that Mirage like Evangeline. But it's like why? Why are you doing this, man? Anyway, um, Ferric tells everyone where the hidden entrance is. Um, he did ask the dead person Salvador where the entrance was, and so he just kind of like mentioned it to everybody, mainly Ambrose, and him and Ambrose head out to go find the secret entrance. Ferric ends up digging for the secret entrance, and he talks to Ambrose about what happened that previous night because they did make camp before. And Ambrose was just kind of like, "Are were you gonna hurt Miraz?" And he was just like, "No, I wasn't really gonna hurt him, but I was just kind of." Ferric was just kind of like asserting leadership, asserting his dominance. He kind of made it sound like if you're gonna attack somebody, then you have to be like he knows Christopher's weak, so like why would you attack him like that? And Ferric was like, if Miraz would have pushed me, if I was in that situation, there would be no Miraz. I was just like, oh man, Ferric don't be playing. Ferric is a very serious kilm. Um, Spunk talks to Miraz, and they kind of have that shit. Oh yeah, and then Ferric and Ambrose dig a little further for this entrance, and they end up finding it. And I think somebody mentioned that there are monsters down there. Like there are monsters down there, so they don't like go down there, but they see a bell or something. So they head back to find the group, and you see Spunk talking to Miraz, and he was just kind of like, Spunk, what was that thing you said? Apparently they this is to be expected on the hero's path. You're too early for stage 3, but we'll work with that. But Spunk is just like, things happen. Heroes will be heroes. Sometimes they fall apart, sometimes they don't. You are on the right path. Just keep your head up type thing. Pickles and Evangeline talk, and if Pickles immediately goes, I don't like you. But Evangeline keeps trying to talk to Pickles. Pickles let slip that her dad sent her out here to prove herself or something like that. She messed something up, and I guess she has to redeem herself or redeem whatever she did. Find something. She was pretty unclear about that. And then Evangeline was kind of like, "Yeah, I know where you're coming from. I did some stuff that made my dad not trust me," or what did she say? Evangeline messed up with her family too. And then Pickles was like, "Does it have anything to do with that?" And she points at Poppet, and Evangeline says yes. So that makes me think, oh, her dad knows about the prince. There's something that happens with the prince that her dad didn't agree with. So he was just like, nah. Um, Poppet starts to talk about people coming closer. And yeah, Poppet was like, hey, there's some people coming. And then Evangeline kind of like looks and she's like, where? What direction? Then the episode's end, of course. Of course the episode ends. Why wouldn't it? Um that is the end of the episode. There was a lot going on this episode. We found a secret entrance. Let me go back up to my notes. We found a secret entrance. We suspect Zale's being a vampire. We suspect that he has a spell on Christopher. Christopher's acting crazy, left the group. I mean, he's only known them for a couple of days now, but he left the group. Um, Random people getting in fight and random people bonding. Ferric kind of exerting his dominance. There was really good role play going on that I was like, man, I hate to love role play where characters are fighting, because I'm just like, do they hate each other for real? Do they not like each other? What's going on there? Yeah, so that throws me off a lot. It doesn't throw me off, but it's just like I try to put myself in those shoes, and it's just like, I don't like that. I don't like their fighting. That make that stop. So I don't like when anybody fights. When anybody talk bad about each other, I'm just like, stop it. But I get that it's the role play, and it's good because they're doing a good job of showing their emotions and showing what their character would do in that situation. Um, what else? Mostly it was a good talking. It was a good talking session. A lot of character bonding because even though they are fighting, the characters still bond. Because you have a fight with your brothers and sisters sometime, and things work out later on, so it's no big deal. Uh, they leveled up. Sometimes I like to hear when the DM says you level up, because you're just like, okay, you register in your mind that they got stronger. They are one level stronger. And I think that's about it. They're planning to go into this whole next episode. So I'm set up and ready, and I'm good to go. You have buttered me up, and I'm ready to see what happens next. So I will give this episode. It was a good episode, but no, it was a good episode. I'm just leave it at that. It was a good episode. 9 out of 10. This episode got 9 hit dice out of 10. I very much thoroughly enjoyed it for what it was. It was very much I want to say a bonding episode. So the team, even though they were fighting, even though they got in a fight, they were bonding. Evangeline went around, talked to everybody like a mom. Ferric talked to some people. Mirage talked to some people. It just felt like more of like we're getting to that level of like trust to bond. They're doing a good job of like, hey, except Pickles. Pickles is like, I don't trust none of y'all. You could be working for my dad. Are you working for my dad? So I do like that. But anyway, that is that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Just remember, you are loved, you're important, and you matter. Bye.